All right, you're welcome to yet another installment of the Football Gazette podcast. Of course, you know what we do here. This is where we'll give you, with reckless abandon, in depth analysis on stories emanating from the ever exciting, scintillating, and yet controversial world of football. It's well in the aftermath of the African Cup of Nations 2023 in Ivory Coast. And of course, Ivory Coast emerged champions of that particular one, with Nigeria getting into the second place, then South Africa taking the bronze medal for themselves. So now let's talk about the fact that Victor Osimhen, of
Yeah,
course, you know, he plays for Nigeria. He was the goal scorer. I mean, the main striker right there for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Prior to the African Cup of Nations, circulating across board was the fact that, okay, he's going to fancy a move to the English Premier League, most likely in the summer,
yeah.
with Arsenal and Chelsea being the senior squad in that particular one. So with his show now, we don't really see much from Victor Osimhen in the African Cup of Nations. You would agree with me. With that show, do you think Chelsea fans out there would still be, I mean, interested in getting the services of Victor Osimhen? I mean, not forgetting Arsenal as well.
Well, as it stands, with what we've seen so far with Victor Osimhen in the recently concluded AFCON competition, you could tell that, yeah, he lacks a lot of services. We didn't really see the best of him.
Hmm.
He scored one goal and I think assisted two others. But then I believe Victor Osimhen will thrive in any creative side. Likes of Arsenal. Talking about Arsenal this time around, Arsenal is a very creative side under Mikel Arteta. You can
Hmm.
see they have a lot of creative players: Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Gabriel Martinelli. Couple of other players more who can create impact. I believe he will thrive more. I mean, he will be the target man. Gabriel Jesus has not been doing maybe he has not had the best of season so far this season, and I mean for Arsenal, and you could tell that a target man like Victor Osimhen is really needed in that team. I mean, that's what I mean personally. I just feel.
You know, ask me, that's for Asta. Ask me, I'm of the opinion that Victor Osimhen rather not make that move to Chelsea, because that would amount to one of the, I mean, most horrible transfer of all times. See,
Horrible.
see, yes, yes, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay,
Chelsea presently, I mean, at the present situation, with the present situation of things now, I
yeah.
mean, Osimhen, I just hope he sees the handwriting boldly written on the wall. This is not the right time to move to this side. Well, maybe Arsenal might actually prove to be quite somewhat a successful move
Yeah,
for him,
yeah,
unlike Chelsea.
yeah.
I mean, because when you take a look at this Chelsea team, each striker, I mean, strikers have been coming and going, but then what do you get? They keep struggling. Strikers after strikers. So now take a look at Nicholas Jackson. Of course, he's an African. He plays for Senegal. He was right there with Senegal. The fact that he's been struggling with Chelsea actually points to the fact that maybe a certain Victor Osimhen, well, you might say, okay, we've seen the best of him. Unlike Jackson, we've seen the best of him right there with SSC Napoli.
Yeah.
But then coming to Chelsea is a different ballgame entirely. My point actually.
Well, personally, I would like to point out the fact that Chelsea, Arsenal, they do have a different squad experience, different squad quality. Yeah, they both add quality in their team. But then the when you weigh it, you see both teams are in different positions this season. One is fighting for the title, and the other is battling for topping the table from the second half of the table. They are in the second half of the table, and you could tell that yes, the scenario they have actually faced, the coaches and the set of players around the team setup are different. With Chelsea under Mauricio Pochettino this season, the reverse is the case for them. They are nowhere they want to be this season so far. They are in the 11th position as it stands, and you could tell that the squad is so young, and they I mean it's a long-term project that they do feel maybe at the long run, maybe in 2 years later they can bid for Victor Osimhen, and by that time we do hope they would have gel and grow into the team they want to be.
Well, so from all indications now, it appears as though you would fancy an
Victor
Arsenal move
Osimhen, yeah, for
for
Vic,
Arsenal
yeah,
than
yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah, exactly.
Well, Chelsea fan, you can hear that aim going for Victor Osimhen for a move to Arsenal than Chelsea. Well, I'm very sure with the performance of Victor Osimhen starting from the first game to the very final match right there in Ivory Coast, you would be able to tell if you still want the talisman for yourself in Chelsea FC.